2020 was a hard year to be Kindred in the Bay Area. Kine were not coming outside anymore as the pandemic raged on. Territories were encroached upon in efforts to get proper food. The Masquerade was nearly violated every night by some starving kindred breaking into someone's home to get a decent meal. Some kindred became understanding of others hunting on their turf, while many became even more unreasonable than before. The biggest opportunists of this time of turmoil were none other than the Sabbat. The Sabbat had a growing presence in Oakland, and their movement was getting more and more reckless in the time of the 2020 pandemic. Unfortunately for everyone, they committed serious Masquerade violations by staging massive coordinated attacks on Kine in order to feed. Both the Anarchs and the Camarilla realized that this was not sustainable, and it would only be a matter of time before the Second Inquisition would become involved in the Bay Area affairs. In an unprecedented effort of cooperation, the Camarilla and the Anarchs banded together to declare war on the Sabbat to drive them out of the Bay. The war lasted from the winter of 2020 to the summer of 2021, and there were casualties on all sides, but none more than the Sabbat, who agreed to unconditional surrender and fled the Bay in what few numbers they had left. Following the retreat of the Sabbat, the Bay Area was left with only the Camarilla and the Anarchs. Both sides felt they were owed by the other, but neither side were committed to more conflict. As such, the Bay Area became somewhat partitioned. Territories were divided, and terms of an armistice were declared. Kindred had crossed the lines all the time, careful to obey the rules of the area of the land they found themselves in, as this armistice, this Cold War between two powerful factions continues. The Masquerade continues under a powder keg of politics, and it is uncertain what event of political turmoil will be the breaking point for an all-out war in the Bay once again. Now we come to recent events involving the Kindred that you see before you. The Prince of San Francisco, Vannevar Thomas, has sent out the Lilit to retrieve these particular kindred for official business. The full message is fanciful and eloquent as ever, something you expect from a prince who hails from the times of colonial America, before there were even states to be reckoned with. But the mission is more than a request. That was the promise. It's something the prince himself might find favorable. And favors amongst the kindred are nothing to take lightly. And it's never a bad idea to get in the good graces of the prince, but also, it's not like there's an option to refuse him either. So, we are going to be starting with the three of you just outside of the King's Court in San Francisco, namely the San Francisco Civic Center. While all the mortals, well, most of them in San Francisco have gone to bed, while some in places like the Mission District are still up having barbecues, people in the other districts may be up partying, going to concerts, experiencing some of the nightlife. These three kindred are waiting for an audience with the prince. Just waiting. In front there is a guard by the door, largely symbolic, as this guard is just a ghoul, a mortal that has been bound to some kindred to stand guard. If Kindred wanted in, there's nothing this ghoul would be able to do to stop that from happening. But nevertheless, he guards and he waits. At this time, the door opens to the staff-only part of the room. Another ghoul who leans in and says, Annika, Connor, Lilit, the prince will see you now.
I'll just stand up and get ready to follow this ghoul.
I'll stand up.
All right.
Tiny coin fiddling within my hand. Just silently follow.
And the Lilit she'll just walk in. She'll show the proper level of decorum, but obviously not the same level of decorum that either Annika or Connor would show.
As you go in past this staff entrance, you are led by some lockers, led by kind of like a row of like a staff sort of lunchroom, stuff like that, and brought to a large back area that seems entirely out of place, assembled to be very much what you may imagine the royal courts to be, like they were set up in like the 1400s. A throne is present, and seated on the throne is Prince Vannevar Thomas himself. He stands and welcomes you all in. And Vannevar Thomas, being a Ventru himself, seems especially delighted. He stands and approaches. The decorum thing to do would be to bow and possibly kiss his ring if he presents it. But he seems a bit more casual this time as he approaches. Ah, my friends. Annika, Connor, it is lovely to see you. Welcome. I'm glad that my message reached all of you.
Annika will just, say, "Oh, well, thank you for your warm greetings," and she'll do like kind of like a little, like head down thing, but not like a full bow, so to speak. Yes. She is one for rules, after all.
Of course.
Connor will do a slight bow and simply say, "Thanks for the invitation, I guess."
Lilit just stands there. She crosses her arms and just nods. Prince Vannevar, as requested, I have delivered the message.
Good. I will have some more for you to do before the night is over, understand? Now, I have something I can only entrust my fellow invaluable Ventru to do for me tonight. It is rather urgent. I hate having to pull you away from your businesses, but this is important to the Camarilla. And therefore, of course, important to all of you. You understand?
Naturally, but of course. What is it you desire from us?
How shall I put it? There is a flight that is coming in to the Oakland airport tonight. Sadly, I could not arrange for the flight to come into SFO. I suspect Anarch tampering. But there is someone and something on that flight that will be arriving tonight. Obviously, being the prince, I cannot go to Oakland, as it is very much on the other side of the line. Anarch territory, of course. But because this is Camarilla business, I do want to send a few trusted names, Ventru names representing the Camarilla over, to go and see that this person gets proper passage over to our side of the border of this armistice. So, what I am entrusting is safe passage after the collection of what will be there, who will be there, one where they can feel that they are given the full Camarilla hospitality, and also one where they feel safe receiving this hospitality. And so I go to one of the more successful Ventru, who would certainly be able to arrange a luxurious passage, and one who at least has some name in mortal law enforcement, in order to make our guest feel as though they are being cared for, and under no threat of any sort of mortal interference, and certainly no Anarch interference. For the luxury, of course, Annika. For the security, of course, Connor. And to Lilit here, I want you to be there for the understanding that should any Anarchs appear, just to let them know this is, of course, just as neutral as it gets, in case Anarchs ask questions as to why prominent members of the Camarilla are over the line.
Exactly what is this thing that we would be retrieving, and whom? Because the Anarchs are a very curious bunch, and they might be questioning why two more prominent members of the Ventru are coming along instead of just sending me to retrieve the package.
The contents of the package are only for the court of the Camarilla, but the person is a caitiff from Las Vegas. She will be arriving with the package, and will be bringing it here to my court tonight.
Understood. I will ensure that they will be able to get through Anarch territory.
What do you think about this, Connor? How does this opportunity strike you?
I fail to understand why I was chosen, but I'm pleased nonetheless that I was. Nevertheless,
Oh, Connor,
we shall get it done.
I have a confession, Connor. You know that for a while I've never really been able to pay you back for the sword that you fell on, for us, for the Ivory Tower. See this as an opportunity to prove that you are able to ascend. We'll pull some strings in the mortal world to hasten your ascent up the ladder in the local police areas, perhaps even on the state level, should you do this for me.
As I said, we shall get it done.
Annika, how does this sound to you? Do you think you can handle, retrieving someone in a welcoming and luxurious way?
Yeah, I've got the company car on, retainer, obviously, so I'm sure we can pick this individual up in a very luxurious, welcoming style. I'll have my driver come by to come pick us up. Won't be a problem.
That is what I love to hear. I always appreciate that about you. Always able to get things done and in style. Well then.
Oh, well, I do what I can.
Of course. The flight will be arriving in... well, it looks like... about 2 hours. That should give you plenty of time to prepare what you need to prepare. I will leave you to it.
And with that, the prince smiles and turns to go back to his seat. But before going, he goes, "Oh, and one more thing. Is anyone hungry?"
Lilit. She just kind of looks off for a second and... No, Prince. I had takeout earlier.
Well, in case anyone needs it, I captured some kine last night, thinking of you both. Well, all three of you. There was a man attempting to solicit some, I believe, what do they call it? Bytecoin the other day. And one of my ghoul detachments... one of my ghoul detachments detained him, and if you are hungry, Annika, I've got him, locked up underneath.
Well, I mean, I could always go, for a bite, so they say, but at the same time, I don't want to deter us for any longer than necessary. What does this ghoul of yours do, perchance? What is their role here?
Oh, not Gould. Just hanging by their thumbs in the dungeon.
Ah, of course. I see. I mean, I do have a type, though, so, I worry that, if I steer off my diet, so to speak, it might upset my stomach.
I am not exactly sure what they do, but I know that you have one for enterprising individuals that are interested in business and going into business. They mentioned something of a startup company.
Oh, well, in that case, it would be beneficial, to tide me over, I would say. Is anyone else interested
Yes.
in such things?
I fear anyone locked in a dungeon will not directly suit my taste. Please don't take this as an offense. But I guess I will just go and eat at home.
Very well. The prince claps his hands, and within a few seconds, there is a very confused looking and scared looking man who is being walked in, only having his pants still on him, walked in with an iron collar around him and some ghouls bringing him in by a chain leash and bringing them over to you, Annika. The man is trembling, unsure of what is happening around him. And he sees you, though, and recognizes you and goes, aren't you the CEO of Arclight?
No, actually, I'm the CFO. See, this is the problem with kids these days. You know, they don't pay attention to what anyone says anymore when they introduce themselves. They're very different roles, the CEO and CFO. Just so we're clear. I don't think this kid cares.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do anything wrong. Look, if this is something that my startup, we haven't done anything. We've only made like $100,000. It's like nothing. We're not trying to get into any of your business. We're hardly like a competition or anything like that.
Oh no, you were definitely never the competition. That was never in question. So I think Annika she's gonna like, roll up her sleeves. I think she's got like a little kerchief of sorts that she'll pull out of her pocket. Can't make a mess of the suit, so to speak. And
of course.
She'll approach this young startup boy.
Mm-hmm. And you're gonna drink some blood?
I am.
When you start drinking his blood, a couple things happen. You start to understand this man's thoughts. He's scared, yes, but in that blood you can taste not ambition, nah. Just greed. He's running a scam. That's what he's been doing. He's been scamming people, trying to get investors, people who look like some people who have money might be gullible. He wants to be rich. At least he's trying his hardest to be rich. But that is his main ambition. That is what he wants, and you can taste that in his blood. The other thing that you feel, you also hear the whispers of the beast. And the beast tells you, just drain him. It's fine. Drain all of his blood. You won't be hungry again for a while. You know you want to. You're better than he is. He doesn't need life.
I'm going to try to resist that because I did just say I was only having a snack after all.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to roll anything to resist. The beast will just kind of grumble in disappointment as you finish your meal. The young man just kind of slumps in a delirium, and he is carried away.
Lovely.
Prince says to Connor one more time, "Are you sure you won't be having anything?"
I am sorry, sir, but I am quite certain.
Very well. I look forward to seeing our passenger. Do call me when you are on the way. And he sits back down in his throne and kind of gestures with his hand that he's done with this meeting. And some of his ghouls approach all of you to kind of indicate that it's time to go.
Lilit, she just kind of does a 2-finger salute, just kind of, whatever, and just turns and walks away, no formality.
Connor will do a very slight bow again, and then just 180 and slowly walk out.
Yeah, I think follows suit, but walks a bit of a faster pace.
One of the ghouls says as you exit the Civic Center into the night air, "Hey, good luck out there. Don't, let the prince down." And then he walks back inside.
Don't let the prince down, me. Whatever.
All right. So out into the night air of the Civic Center with some tasks to do. What are y'all gonna do to prepare for this fine evening?
So, Lilit, she's gonna go over to where her motorcycle is parked, and in saddlebags, she's gonna basically she's just gonna kind of like prepare herself, just in case there is any trouble. She has a stake in her saddlebag that she'll pick up, because when you're running back and forth across territories, it's kind of a good thing to be a little prepared. She then just kind of makes sure her motorcycle is secured and walks to the car and just gets into the driver's seat.
Connor would make some phone calls. Calling.
Who are
the
you
people.
calling?
I was like, the people that would be awake at this time, which is pretty much just the deputy, and just explain the situation and asking, or not asking, rather demanding, handling the situation, as in, get the people ready, see who you can delegate to this, who is reasonably competent. I know that ain't much, but get the best you can.
Your deputy asks you, "Sir, is this Kindred business?"
I am calling
'Cause
you
if it
in the
is-
middle of the night. What else would it be?
Right. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure, 'cause,
I know you're not gonna do anything. But what else do I have? Just make sure that the other people know I probably won't be home for a bit. I guess I will have to be
right.
on guard duty, and give me anyone else you think can handle the job.
I think the only one working tonight that knows is Murphy, sir.
Forget
But
I said anything.
you're the only Kindred that I think that he
Give
knows.
me no one. Forget I said anything. Give me no one.
Okay, I'm sorry, sir.
It's not your fault. Don't worry. Just make sure the others are cared for. Connor will hang up, let out the deepest sigh possible, and just walk slowly to the car.
Like the Ben Affleck outside the restaurant smoking sigh.
Yeah.
If you know that meme. I think Annika would probably go back to her car. So she's sitting in, because she's got her own private car, but she's going to
Of course.
probably call up her assistant, Elliot, and or actually text him, really, because we're in the modern era and whatnot. Just to send a car, a company car around, one of the nicer models, because we'll bring that one with us to Oakland Airport. So she'll fire off a text.
Elliot says, yeah, Elliot texts back, and he says, luxury SUV, question mark, limousine, question mark.
And I'll text back and say, luxury SUV, the reinforced kind, the reinforced model, if you will. Despite texting, she still texts kind of like an old timer. And I'll let him know it's to meet us at the airport.
One thing I forgot to say is Lilit will text someone that she trusts on the Anarch side that she has very good relations with, to let them know that she's driving 2 stuffy blue bloods to pick up an individual. And she texts it very sort of, yeah, this is a mission this is a request for the prince, full neutrality. Just so the Anarchs don't think that this is an incursion into their territory.
You receive a reply that simply says, I'll let Tenorio know. And you know Tenorio as the Anarch Sheriff of Oakland. Possum, Annika gets a text back that says, want Maurice, question mark.
So we'll send Maurice. I'll just type back yes, period.
All right. Text comes back that just says ETA 45 minutes.
Okay, perfect. I'll get back out of the car and go to Connor and Lilit and inform them that the vehicle for picking up this VIP will be there in about 45 minutes. The car is en route.
All right.
Lilit just, she's just, whatever. Goes over, she pulls out a cigarette and just leans up against the wall. She is not openly being hostile towards the two of you, but she really is kind of standoffish. She's not trying to engage in small talk.
Have you informed also how long it would take? Or it's just like that is not information that they have yet?
Do you know how long it would take to get from San Francisco Civic Center to the Oakland Airport?
No, it was more, what's the information that, like, the information was the car's en route, but, like, how long it will take to get.
Oh, I said it was 45 minutes that it would take. Yeah.
Then Connor would like to see if there's, like, any reasonable thing to just sit around, like a bench, whatever.
How long would it take for
I
us
believe
to
that
get
the car is going to the airport, yes?
Yeah, we're not waiting. We're not meeting the car's not picking us up. We're gonna go to the airport. The car will also meet us there. We're going separately. So how long would it take us to get to the airport from where we are currently?
Well, for the average mortal, using the Bay Bridge simple system of getting caught in traffic, it'd take about an hour and a half. But for you, going over the carpool lanes and being given the proper routes with your clearance, a little over half an hour.
Okay, and it said that the plane's not due to arrive for like 2 hours. Was that the case?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I guess it would probably not be the best decision necessarily to go into Anarch territory and have to wait around for like an extra hour and a bit. Might not be the smartest move. I'll just ask for like, I don't know, I guess like a vibe check from the other group, like of the individuals, like if you guys have any pressing matters. We seem to have some time on our hands in the event that you need to take care of anything before we go. There's no rush to get to the airport at this moment.
Let's just let the people know that I probably won't be home for a bit, so I don't see any reasonable thing that I need to attend to in the coming times.
It might be possible that we might get stopped by the Anarchs just to make sure that we are doing what we said we are, and just for their own verification. Just understand that that might be a possibility, so I wouldn't wait too long.
As you sit there, a seemingly forgettable individual starts approaching your group. Just, it looks like maybe the janitor for a nearby building? Like, maybe Civic Center janitor. Maybe for the nearby MoMA museum. But approaches and seems to be real friendly. And just kind of looks at all of you, smiles, and goes, Annika, Connor, Lilit, what's up? It's good to see all of you.
Do I recognize this person at all?
Oh no, not at all.
Okay.
Me neither, I assume, right?
Yeah,
So none of us recognize, correct?
that is correct.
So Lilit is going to use the discipline animalism. Sense the beast. Vampire can sense the beast presence in mortals, vampires, and other supernaturals, gaining a sense of their nature, hunger, and hostility. The cost is free. Dice pool is resolve plus animalism versus composure and plus subterfuge.
Go ahead and make the roll.
Okay, that is, hold on, was resolve and animalism. And resolve.
Resolve plus animalism roll.
Where's my animalism and resolve? Where? Okay, so animalism is 2. Hold on, gotta go to the dice. 1d10 for each animalism, and plus, where is resolve on here?
Attributes.
I'm looking at
far right.
There it is. 2. Okay, so 2d10 for animalism, 2d10 for resolve, and result
Roll your
is
hunger.
34. Oh, Roll hunger. Roll.
Oh, okay.
Hunger is just 1.
That is. You got. Wow.
1d10. Okay. And
That's 6
result
successes.
is 9
Okay.
for hunger.
And no hunger change. With 6 successes, oh yeah. You sense the beast. This is Kindred, for sure.
So
You know.
does she sense hostility in him?
No. But while it's not hostility, there is a sense of, shall we say, apprehension. They're nervous, even though they're not being so in their body language. Something that they've probably it's taken a lot to practice.
So Lilit, she's gonna kind of like flip her cigarette away, kind of push herself off the wall, and look at the guy and, what can we do for you, friend? Don't seem to know you.
Well, I saw that you all were in the neighborhood, probably going over to see a visitor from Las Vegas. Am I right about that?
I don't know. You tell me. Why are you interested?
I'm interested because if someone were arriving from Las Vegas into Oakland and they're Camarilla, well, it does make one wonder, why didn't they arrive at SFO? It seems the obvious flight to take right into San Francisco. They probably wouldn't need some party to go and fetch them. Or at least all of you wouldn't be having to go into another territory, another faction's territory, to go and retrieve them, you know?
So Lilit, so her posture is going to definitely change to one of not being aggressive, but it's clear that she is very cautious, and that she looks a little more feral after hearing what this guy says. And she's gonna like look at each of the 2 companions to kind of get a read on what they're thinking.
How is Annika and Connor right now? Start with Annika.
I think she's cautious about this one. He seems a little too, I'm not sure what the word is, but she doesn't like it. She doesn't like it when people are overly friendly with her that she doesn't know. Because who are you?
Right.
Like, absolutely not. So I want to know if I can get away with this. This is the question, I guess. I would like to use compel.
Okay.
So the cost is free.
All right.
It says, with eye contact, the vampire can issue the victim a single action command, no longer than a short sentence, to be obeyed to the letter. It must be possible to complete the command in a single turn. The cost is free. The dice pools are charisma and dominate versus intelligence and resolve. It says, but this is they're kindred, right? They're not mortal, so then that doesn't play in play. So
if they are kindred, that means that the roll is going to need more successes to succeed.
Okay.
You don't know how powerful this kindred is as well.
Yeah. I would like to,
but you can
compel
attempt.
okay. Yeah, I'd like to ask.
Roll charisma. And
why
dominate.
do they want to know? Perfect. So that's one of each, correct? The D10. Oh, the D10 is your rule for your skill check. Because I got that charisma. Oh, baby. Tree and tree. Okay. I'm doing real dice.
Mm-hmm.
So I got 12 for charisma and 8 for dominate.
What were the numbers on the dice?
Oh, right. It goes that way. Oh,
you
no.
just have to count the successes.
Right. Oh, I forgot it's like that. Oh, no. Yeah. It's only one success on any of them.
Okay,
I got
one
a
success.
5-2.
Did you roll
I got
hunger?
5, 2, and 1. I can roll hunger right now. I got a 9 on hunger. That's a success,
Okay.
I believe. Yeah. Woof.
You can utter your compel sentence.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to say, tell us why you want to know.
Figure turns and smirks at you and says, Annika, you should know better than to do something like that to your good old buddy Daedalus. And hearing that name, you recognize the name of the Nosferatu Primogen.
Oh.
Clearly, being a Nosferatu, this is a disguise that they have currently. Being the Primogen, meaning that they are older than you are, most likely. Connor, how are you doing in this scenario?
Connor has been notably tense since the moment this man has spoken a word, and at hearing that name, that probably turned up to 11. It would probably have been to the idea if Connor would have just kind of subconsciously made a grip for the gun he's carrying, and at hearing that name he just completely loses that grip, as that's doing nothing. But he just intensely stares that way without saying a thing.
Well, if you're interested in why I would be over here asking such questions, it is simply because I heard, and of course, you can take a Nosferatu's word as far as you could any other kindred's, but I heard that the person coming from Las Vegas is coming from there because the Camarilla are not doing too well. And that may be because the Anarchs are.
Would Lilit have, with her streetwise and her contacts within the Anarch movement, would she have heard any of these rumors?
You know that the Anarchs and the Camarilla are at odds with each other in Vegas, but you haven't heard this. Not specifically, but information has gone dark from there for a while, at least for the past couple weeks.
That would explain why we haven't heard anything from Vegas in a while. She just kind of puts that information away. She doesn't really reveal any facial change or anything. She just kind of says it and does kind of a noted.
Just thought that you all might want to know. If the Camarilla haven't heard any word from what has been happening, except that they are to be receiving someone who could not arrive at SFO and could only arrive in Oakland, perhaps the Anarchs know more than you do about this situation. Simply food for thought.
Are you sure that that's it?
Well, I understand that you have a job to do for the welcoming committee. As the welcoming committee. But perhaps it would behoove you to prepare for a certain attitude from the Anarchs who may be expecting to receive the same thing that you're receiving. That is all. Nice car, by the way.
And with that, he stands up and begins to walk away.
The hell was he talking about? Do either of you know what he's trying to refer to? I feel like he was very much trying to insinuate something about connections from Vegas.
Well, the word on the street that I have heard is that Vegas has gone dark. There was a lot of tension between the Anarchs and the Camis. And if the Nosferatu has information that they're willing to share, then I think that the sewer rats definitely think it is important enough that we know about it, because they normally don't share information willingly.
So the gist of it is, if I understand this correctly, someone made a trade with possibly delivering this thing. And we're not here to be a welcoming committee. We're here to intercept something that these people very clearly think they are going to get. And Connor, fumbling with the coin in hand, is just going faster and faster.
You get a text, Annika, that says, the SUV is on its way.
I will let my compatriots here know that I just received that information. And suggest that maybe we should start thinking about moving in that direction as well.
Sounds good.
So, Lilit is definitely, she looks a bit agitated, since she has gotten this extra information, and it's clear that she's in thought and she's kind of aggravated. I would just be prepared for anything.
Will all of you begin the drive over the Bay Bridge into Oakland?
I
Sounds
would
good.
do so.
Yeah.
All right.
So Lit's the Lit doesn't she's gonna drive whatever vehicle. She's not the type to be a passenger.
The drive over the Bay Bridge. There's almost always traffic over it. For Annika and Connor, you remember when this bridge was a big, bulky tower bridge. It was removed after $5.6 billion was put into making a new bridge. A very beautiful bridge it is, but notably, the old one was taken out because of how time had made it more prone to earthquakes. The regional natural disaster that Bay Area folk fear. This new one is just as prone to earthquakes, but at least it looks nicer. A lot has changed between this bridge, between seeing the skyline develop in San Francisco. Annika, you can remember the first major earthquake that destroyed it, which was basically the founding of the Camarilla
in San Francisco in the rebuild efforts. Connor can remember the second major earthquake that hit it in 1989. Going over this bridge, it's been a while. Been a while mainly because the East Bay has never really been Ventrue territory. Heading over there this night, that is made abundantly clear by the discussion that has gone on. The territory you're entering now is not only Anarchs, but Bruja territory.
Ugh.
Alright. We have a redemption from chat for the beast to whisper. The beast will whisper to Lilit. Here we go. I don't know about this. Maybe we should turn the car around. This seems dangerous. What is to lose? A bunch of blue bloods that don't get their job fulfilled. Fuck that. Come on.
So as the beast is whispering to Lilith as she's driving, the other two can clearly see that she's getting more agitated. That clearly she's just trying to, like, think this over. All these thoughts are going through her head. She's trying to put down these thoughts. She's aware of what the beast is saying, but she's trying to not let it break her focus on her mission is to deliver these two to pick up this individual that none of them know who it is, and her job is to be the neutral party, sort of the diplomatic, the one with like the diplomatic immunity. But she is clearly getting more and more agitated. She is clearly getting more, she's getting more worked up. Her hands are basically beginning to dig into the steering wheel. She's grinding her teeth, and the other two can clearly see that that there is definitely a bug in her mind. She's not fighting the beast, but she's not rolling with the beast. She's just, she knows it's there and she's acknowledging it, but not going one way or the other with it.
The both of you can see the hands clenching steering wheel. The driving, while you have no fear of the car crashing, it's definitely a less comfortable ride on the way over. Agitation is on this Kindred's mind.
Like, in which seats exactly are we?
What seat do you think Connor would be in?
Connor would want to be up front, but knowing that there's someone someone much older there, he would just wait until Annika got into the car and then just
she's
to go
a
Annika, where did
backseat
you
girl. She's a backseat girl. This is a driving Miss Daisy
right.
situation. I am not the help.
Then
I'm
he's
in the back.
definitely in front as long as the Lilit would allow that.
Alright.
And in that sense, he would very slightly extend the hand to like see, okay, that's is this being noticed, yes or no, to try to just tap on the shoulder and go, is everything all right?
Feeling the tap on her shoulder, she immediately growls, bares her fangs, and definitely becomes more feral, more wolf-like. Her agitation is quite clear that she is in no mood to be touched.
Can't just simply go, that is a no, and then like not say anything.
Yeah, I think
As
Annika
you
is
get closer.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think she like kind of senses that there's a change, but is like, she's doing emails and shit on her phone. She's not paying attention.
Right.
She's got a business to
Has
run.
a business to look after.
You know, this is
Mhm.
we work on Helsinki time. This is office hours right now.
Who
Mhm.
cares about the moods of the poor and the serfs?
Not me,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Exactly.
That's someone else's problem.
All that
I could just-
Annika knows
I
is
could
that
just-
you will not be a driver that they hire.
Oh,
I could just- I literally just picture Annika in the back doing her emails on her phone, just kind of like looking up for a second, soon as like the Lilit just like growls and snaps the air next to Connor's hand and just go, eh, and then going right back to it.
Oh yeah, looks up, looks right back down. Typing the whole time.
I love
The
that.
fingers didn't stop.
I love it.
She's a business goyle. What can I say?
She has no time for the mutt.
No, she does not.
So, getting closer, you can see that the Oakland Coliseum, or the O Coliseum, as it is now called, previously the McAfee Coliseum, where the baseball team, the Oakland Athletics, play. The lights are bright. Looks like there's a game going right now. Either that or maybe a concert. It's used for many things. Next to it is the Oracle Arena. Looks like there's a concert going on there too, perhaps, if the other event isn't in fact a sporting event. At any rate, looks like it's a busy night for the mortals as well. As you turn away from that and start heading out onto the street, you are coming closer and closer to the Oakland airport. Unlike SFO, it is not an international airport. Receives and sends only domestic flights. Therefore, it's a lot smaller, less busy. And it is also privately owned. With this, the later it gets, the less flights go out, the less flights are received. There will still be likely hundreds of mortals there, but not like it would be in the daytime. They would be relegated to certain groups that would come and go as flights land and flights board, but not a lot of people experiencing layovers. Maybe only a handful. When you arrive, you can see at the terminals that there are only about 5 or 6 cars. People getting on, getting off, loading their suitcases. Loved ones putting their bags in, receiving people from a long flight. It looks like there's just a bunch of mortals that are getting off now. And there's a mix of people in there. Lots of them. Lots of different people. They all
look tasty. We are going to roll a rouse check, everyone. So roll your hunger dice. If you get a 5, 6, 7, 8, or no, if you get a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or sometimes marked as 0 on your dice, raise your hunger by 1.
Okay, I got an 8.
I got a 9.
Your hunger, what'd you get?
I got a 9.
I got an
Okay.
8.
Yeah.
I got
Both
a
of your
2.
hungers are going up. Mm-hmm.
I got a 2.
Your beast, Lilit, goes, "Oh, scratch that. This is a great place to be. Look at all those people."
Did my
That looks
hunger
yummy.
go down from eating earlier?
Ah, you actually shouldn't have made the rouse check. You're good because
okay.
Cool.
your hunger stays at 1, but you don't have to worry about this check. Your
Okay.
hunger has been sated relatively well.
Okay, perfect.
All you would get is the beast just going, and that's it.
Wunderbar.
Lilit is definitely showing her agitation. She definitely has a very predatory look in her eye at this point. It is easily seen that she is gangrel to the other kindred, and that she is definitely in touch with her animalistic side. She may even lick her chops, just like a doggy.
A TSA attendant approaches your vehicle. Mortal. Just goes, is seemingly trying to direct you to a spot in front of a terminal or to the parking lot to wait. Right now, just doing hand signals, but waiting for you to do something.
Do we know which terminal the flight's coming in at again? I can't remember.
You do not.
But we're pulling up to this attendant, so to speak. Well, I guess we'd have to go to the terminal in order to figure out where the flight's going to come in from. So, suggest to the Lilith to either ask or just go to the terminal.
So Lilith's just going to drive to the terminal. She's just going to go to short-term parking.
All right. The TSA agent is happy to see you move and continues to direct other coming cars to different places. There is a person in the booth to collect $6 for parking, and they just look out their window and just say, "Yeah, I'll be $6."
Lilith looks at the other two in the car with her, and when neither one of them move to fork over money, she sighs very annoyedly and digs into her own pocket and throws a 10.
Is that what Annika and Connor are gonna do? Just are you guys gonna say anything?
It's... When Lilit looks, Connor will just go, "You have the money."
I'll Venmo you $2 later for my share.
Venmo $2. Yeah, see, I just picture like the two I just picture like the two. I just picture the two Ventru looking over at like Lilit, like, "What? You're the driver? Pay the man.
Yeah,
You're the
literally.
help."
I'm in the back. What do you want from me? I'm all the way back here. You want me to reach across you to pay this man $6?
I'm too busy doing, like, important things to give you money.
It's parking. What could it possibly cost you?
More important part is it is not explicitly asked that I pay, so I will not. It's that simple.
So yes, Lilit pays. She rolls her eyes at the other two, and then drives through to go look for a place to park.
There's plenty of parking this late at night.
Yep, she pulls into a spot, and basically, to show her bit of annoyance, she allows the car to just kind of like hit the tire stop a little harder than she should. Just being a little bit petty.
All right. Arrived at the Oakland airport. It's pretty dark in the parking lot. Very dark in the parking lot. The only things that can really be seen is distantly in one direction. You can see about half a mile behind you the Oakland Coliseum, where a game is happening with the bright lights. And about 30 meters in front of you, all the terminals lighting up the road to the airport, and the lights inside. Occasionally, you will see the runway lights and the lights of the airplanes using them as they pass by and turn on and off.
So with the terminal, what? Oh, go ahead.
There's about 15 minutes until Annika's car arrives, supposedly.
And you said that the parking garage is pretty dark?
Oh, it's not a garage, it's just outside. Just a lot, and it's very dark.
So, first level of Protean, Eyes of the Beast. Vampire can will a supernatural red gleam into their eyes, and giving them sight even in the total absence of light. The cost is free and no roll is required. While active, the inhuman appearance of the eyes confers 2 bonus dice to intimidation against mortals, and ignores any slight penalties imposed by darkness. So she can see in the dark. So she is going to force her eyes to have that gleam, and she's going to look around for any threats, anything out of the ordinary. She's going to see if there's anything that might be out of place.
Make a wits and awareness roll.
Let's see, wits is 3. Where is awareness?
And add those 2 hunger dice.
Okay, the first roll I'm going to do is for the 2 wits and awareness, which came to 27, and the hunger dice, and result is 15 for the second roll.
Don't notice anything out of place here. A bunch of parked cars, couple mortals that are sitting in their cars, not doing anything, probably just waiting for someone they know's flight to arrive or something, but besides that, nothing going on in the parking lot. As time passes, a little bit earlier than you expected, Annika, you can see a very particular luxury armored SUV pulling up to the terminals, about to be directed by the same TSA agent as you all were before.
I'll Mention. Oh, good. It seems Maurice is here, and I'll text him like the parking spot area that we're currently in, so that he knows where to go.
All right. As the TSA agent is approaching, Maurice takes the car and pays the $6, and then comes and parks the luxury SUV next to the vehicle where all of you are. Delicately and gracefully, because Maurice is a professional driver.
Not an
Upon
agitated puppy.
Indeed. Upon parking, Maurice exits the vehicle and approaches yours and simply says, "Miss Annika, I am here. I am ready to do as you might have me do."
Thank you so much, Maurice, for coming on such short notice. We're still waiting for the flight itself to land, so if you're welcome just to sit in the vehicle until the time comes, and we will keep you appraised of the situation.
On that note, now that I think about it, do we know which flight exactly? And where exactly? We are actually required to see.
You know when the flight is supposed to be coming in, and that is from Las Vegas. But that is all you were told. There's nothing to stop any of you from looking up the flight schedule today in Oakland.
I'll go on my phone and start looking at arrivals that will land in the expected time frame that we were told, and from Las Vegas.
The main reason
Alright.
Connor asked is because Connor does not have a phone that has direct online capability. It's a pretty old damn thing.
Oh my
Of
god.
course. It is a privilege that only a few Camarilla are allowed, Annika being one of them. Most, well, actually, every fledgling is not trusted with that kind of power immediately. It has to be earned. The Masquerade is precious, after all.
Oh, naturally.
Annika, you can see that there is a flight coming in from Las Vegas at midnight. A very apt time for vampires to be arriving in a new city. Coming in at the Southwest terminal. There's also a note by this flight that says in parentheses, expected early, and then another parentheses that says reroute from SFO.
I'll let Connor and Lilit know that they're going to be early at the Southwest Terminal and that they were rerouted, so it was originally supposed to be at the San Francisco terminal.
Alright. Shall I get moving?
Yes. Let's head over. I'll text Maurice the details.
Well, it's just
As
gonna
you
kind of
go and text, Maurice from about 5 feet next to you gets the text and just goes, very well.
She doesn't have time to talk to the help.
Listen, Maurice and I have an understanding, okay? I talk lots to Maurice. I don't have to. That's between Maurice and I.
So as they kind of begin to walk to the terminal, Lilit just kind of looks back over at Maurice, flips him off, and then just keeps going.
I Venmo Maurice $20
Do you want
for her
to
doing
keep
that.
your Eyes of the Beast on?
I will do it until I get to either where there is a lot more mortals or to the terminal itself. Because if it's got the red glow and I start getting around around mortals, that could be potentially seen as a breach of the Masquerade. So she already in her regular state already looks a bit feral, because it's clear that she's frenzied before. She's got like her ears are just a little too pointed. Her teeth just look a little too sharp, and she just always has that predatory sort of look to her. So she doesn't want something else to just like add to the whole fact that a mortal might see her and go, something's not right. So if she gets around a bunch of mortals or she gets to the terminal, whichever comes first, she will then drop it.
All right. Once you start to appear under the light and there's mortals at the terminals going in and out, then you return your Eyes of the Beast to just your normal eyesight that you use. Your visage retreats. Looking around, you can clearly see a terminal for Southwest marked. It seems you can either wait out here, or you could go inside to the baggage claim area.
I'll probably opt to go inside to the baggage claim area.
Lilit's just gonna kind of hang around outside. She's already feeling that bit of hunger. She's already feeling the beast. She's a bit agitated, and the potential of being around a bunch of mortals might not be the best idea. So she's gonna kind of like go and walk away from the entrance, but she's gonna stay close by where she could see the entrance.
Well, I was probably gonna go inside. We'll keep a constant watch of sorts on Lilit, just for the idea of Connor does not want this person to just, rip apart the next mortal they see.
Yes. All right. So there is a ticker that goes through monitoring when flights will be arriving. You see that the flight for what you will be expecting, the one from Las Vegas, will be arriving in 10 minutes. Once it goes to 10 minutes, the baggage claim area is suddenly, by a few TSA agents, is roped off, and 2 TSA guards stand there. It's as though their orders have inexplicably changed. Baggage claim area is not available for people to go into suddenly. There is a TSA agent who something comes in on their walkie-talkie, and it seems to be some kind of orders, and they are responding. They seem to be in communication with whoever is on the line. Do either of you want to make a roll to determine what is being said?
Yep. I would at least try to.
All right. If either of you have the ability to enhance your senses supernaturally, that's also an option. I don't think the Ventru have that, though.
Yeah, I don't believe I have that.
This will be Yep, this will be wits and awareness.
10, 9, and 6.
That is 4 successes. You hear the voice say, make sure no one gets past. It's like, yes, sir. Important package arriving there. That's what we were told. Now, someone's going to get off the flight. They will identify themselves to you as Ivory Tower. Got that? Yes, sir. Let them through and no one else. Got it? Yes, sir. And that is what you hear.
I will I will look to Annika and see, and try to determine and see if she has heard in as well.
Yeah, I don't actually. I think you were doing it, so I wasn't paying attention to you doing that. So I'm still just kind of looking around, I don't know. And I kind of lock eyes with you and go, what?
This poor person airport, yeah.
Yeah. Oakland. Ugh.
Okay, and then as soon as I notice, I will just let her in on that and go, and now what?
Excellent.
Connor just has a lot of other shit on his mind, and Connor's like, I don't need more. Please.
Alright, so Annika, you've been informed of the conversation. Waiting for somebody to get a package. Only they can go through. Ivory Tower is apparently the key word. Key phrase. But the flight has not arrived. Looking back at the ticker, 4 minutes.
I feel like Annika has a lot of charm and manipulation attributes from her work. So I feel like now that I've heard that you gotta drop this key phrase, I think she's going to try to go up and mention that she's here for a delivery or a package of sorts, and just going to ask the nice agents where she could go to retrieve her item from this incoming flight.
When you approach, one of them puts their hands up and goes, sorry, ma'am. No one's allowed in the baggage claim area right now.
Oh, but you see, I'm here for a very special pickup from the flight that's about to come in, and it would be a shame if I had to inform the Ivory Tower that I couldn't pick up their package for them.
Both the guards there look at each other, a little confused. They go, and one of them says something that you can hear, but it's obviously intended for you not to hear. Just this, I thought it was somebody on the flight who was gonna be picking this up.
My gamble
They
did
look
not pay.
confused.
I think she's gonna put on her
Well, perhaps you'd like to make a roll.
yeah. What can I roll for here in terms of oh, hold on. Wait. Let me look at what I got here.
Also, the just other question, Connor's hearing all of this and just kind of seeing her just walk up and do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna use awe. I'm gonna use awe. So anyone in the presence of the vampire finds their attention inexplicably drawn to them. Those listening to the vampire speak might suddenly agree on subjects where they once held different viewpoints. The cost is free.
Now Connor sees basically that awe has been activated, is not swayed by it, but knows of vampiric power when he sees one.
Yeah.
The two guards, their faces turn from concern to suddenly a smile on both of their faces. And they go, "Sorry, ma'am, what I apologize. What was it that you wanted us to do for you?"
Oh, I'm here for my package. It's being delivered, and I'm meeting with this individual. If you could just let me by.
Oh, but of course, Ivory Tower. Yes, that's what you said earlier.
That's what I said. Yes.
Well, feel free. Yes, we can let you through.
Oh, thank you. You're both too kind. I appreciate all your help. And she flashes like a winning smile at these two schmucks. She gets past them.
Connor will just
They
try to silently walk after her.
He's with me. He's with me. Thank you so much.
Oh yes, they take off their hats and they just they can't take their eyes off of you. So when you go past, they've turned their backs to the crowd entirely and are just dazzled by your presence.
As one is, naturally.
Yes.
Dang, Annika's in there
So-
trying to dazzle with presents and get heads turning while
Mm-hmm.
Lilit's outside looking for a rat to snack on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Personal care is very important. What can I say?
So-
Spend your money on the dentist.
Comes in an announcement over the speaker.
Oh, sorry. As we walked past very
Flight
quickly,
192 arriving in Las Vegas.
I'm gonna mention
Flight
to
193
Connor.
from Las Vegas arriving now.
Can I mention to Connor that it's the ivory tower? It's the person that's supposed to be on the flight. I want what I overheard from those guards to let him know because I don't think he heard that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I figured that's what they said. Like, if you remember, the thing that they said was that someone would come off the flight, the keyword for them to say is Ivory Tower, and only they can get the package, and only they are allowed through.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
Okay, so now that we're here, and the flight's getting off,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
The baggage conveyor belts start spinning, and it's kind of magical. These workers come out to separate the baggage as though they are looking for a particular package that is going to be coming in, but when they get within a certain vicinity of you, Annika, they are inexplicably just turned around and they look at you and smile and come over and go, "Oh, well, hello, I'm afraid that no one's supposed to be back here. Are you supposed to be back here?"
and I'm gonna say, well, yes, I am. You must be mistaken.
I must be. I'm sorry.
That's
we're just
okay.
we're just gonna be going through these packages here now. We have to separate one out from the other. It's apparently very precious cargo.
Oh, you do? Oh, see, that's so interesting because I'm actually here to pick something up. My friend here and I, we're just, that's why we're here. But please, go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
That could be, we could, maybe
Absolutely.
maybe what you're looking for is what I'm looking for. How marvelous.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
I mean,
So
that
they
would do me
start
such a favor.
moving. They start sorting through the packages and going through everything until they come across one package that is a long rectangular wooden box Not large enough to fit a person in, but it is made of the same material you would imagine that a coffin would be made out of. It is bolted shut, and there is a chain also securing it around as well. And amongst all the suitcases and different things of baggage, from things belonging to tourists or people coming home for spring break or whatever, this stands out amongst all of them. They look at the ticket on it, and it says Newsome. They look at it, and they move it over to a side, and then, putting it in this separate place, they go and stand next to it, seeming to kind of keep it under guard.
While Annika and Connor are inside, like I said, Lilit is trying to find a snack.
Oh, yeah.
Would she be able to, like, find a rat or something to try to snack on? To try to get her hunger back down
Even
and
better.
save the beast a little bit?
There is even a couple larger things, such as a couple raccoons next to the airport.
Oh, well, she definitely grabs a
Just
raccoon
kind
up.
of... Oh, yeah.
She's a puppy. She has no shame in what she eats.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So she's gonna
Alright.
grab a.
How many...
She's gonna grab.
Going for one raccoon to reduce your hunger by one?
Yes.
You may do so. And as you sink your fangs in, as you start draining its blood, you feel its resistance and its attempts to escape fail as it starts going limp in your hands. But it's calm, peaceful, and it starts feeling very comfortable with you. The raccoon is very happy to be within your grasp. It feels loved. It feels cherished. And it feels appreciated as it is with you.
Aww.
As you start to conclude your meal, you may take a dot of hunger away. A distinct hum of a muscle car starts coming down the driveway over to the terminal. It is loud. It roars in this very distinctive way. As it arrives, as it gets closer, you can see that there is an insignia that is painted onto the side of it. The insignia is very loud, unmistakable, and is the symbol of the Bruja.
Of course it is. So
It's getting
Lilit-
closer. It's not quite at the terminal yet, but it will be here in a few seconds.
So Lilit she sees it, and she knows she needs to let Connor and Annika know. So she starts heading to the terminal, stops, spits out the corpse of the raccoon like a dog that's gotten caught for having something in its mouth that's not supposed to have, and then goes into the terminal and goes up to Annika. Just so you know, there's a couple of Bruja and a
Before
very
you
jacked
are
up.
able to get in there, there's some guards who go, whoa, 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 what are you doing here? And of course, Annika and Connor, you can see this happening. The TSA trying to stop Lilit from coming in.
I'm actually a driver, and I actually came in with those two over there. She points to Annika and Connor. And we are here to meet a passenger coming off the flight that just landed.
Connor will just turn around, take a slight glance at Annika, and just slowly walk up. It's like, whatever she's saying, she's probably correct. Just let her through.
I'll wave to the security guards because they're still in awe.
Uh-huh.
And I'll give them another little smile and be like, yes, yes, she's with us, please. Thank you so much. Just having to
They don't
pull the weight on that one.
They don't seem to want to, but when you say it's okay, they let Lilit through.
So she goes up. She goes up to Annika, kind of licks the last little bit of blood that's kind of in the corner of her mouth from her snack as she gets up to Annika and leans over and says, we might have trouble here in a minute. There is a very obnoxious car that just drove by, clearly marked with the insignia of Bruja. So we might want to try to hurry this little venture up.
Okay, so then in that case, we've got the original guards. No, sorry, not the original. The secondary guards who have the package. So what did they say? Sorry, can you remind me? What was the name that they mentioned? It was Newton?
Newsom.
Okay, I wrote it down. Newsom, thank you.
Newsom.
Okay. So I'm gonna let Connor and Lilit know what I'm gonna do before I do it, just so I don't just like I make choices and then things happen and then everyone has to pick up pieces in the game. Because that's always fun. I'm gonna turn them on. Like, listen. So that's the name on the package. We know that they're waiting for someone named the Ivory Tower to come get this. Do we wait for the Ivory Tower to appear and take them with us, or do we just try to grab this package now?
Look, your prince said we are picking up a person and a package. So if you want to go back to him and explain why you've got one of those, then be my guest. It's not on me, it's on you. I'm just the hired help. And she kind of smiles and kind of looks back out the terminal doors to try to see where the car is now.
Okay. Does it look like the people are starting to get off the flight at all?
Yep. It looks like there are people who are coming down the stairs, being directed away from the baggage room to like the main lobby. A lot of disgruntled passengers who want to go and get their bags and are confused why they're being told no. Back at the terminal, the car is currently parked out there at the terminal, and the TSA agent is trying to direct them to see what they're going to be doing. The same one that directed you all to go and park.
Okay, why don't we just grab the package and go closer to where the people are? The person who wants this is gonna see it, take them, and then we leave the best way we can.
Are there any like side entrances or anything like that out to the parking lot area that wouldn't be having to cross paths with that main car out front?
You could either go up and around in a large detail or detour up some halls and try to come out a different terminal, or you could go through the main lobby, which does take you close to that terminal. The only other option is the tarmac.
I think we should go with Connor's plan and maybe try to lose this tail that's apparently shown up. And I will text Maurice as we go for where he needs to meet us at whichever terminal we end up coming out of.
I can go talk to him since this is Anarch territory. I'll go talk to him, see what they are up to, and maybe give you the distraction you need to meet this individual and head out to avoid any complications and to maintain neutrality because we don't want any bad blood happening. So while you're grabbing and going, I'll go see what our friends are up to.
All right, let's do it.
That sounds good. For the first time today, I
Alrighty.
have to say this. Thank you.
As the crowd disperses, there is a woman with black hair that approaches the guards. She is wearing a lovely dress, also black, but has these blood red heels on. She addresses the guards. "I'm with the Ivory Tower." And the guards part, and she starts heading down the stairs when she sees you. And she stops in her tracks, but then slowly starts approaching. And Lilit, you're going out to the front terminal?
Yep. I'm going to go and talk to the individuals outside.
Connor will grab the package and just approach her.
I'll follow
She-
closely behind Connor.
Her eyes get really big when you put your hands on the package, and she looks nervous and then says, "Who are you?"
So, we got sent here by an important person of the Camarilla to pick you up, give you safe passage through this territory, and make sure that you are welcomed and safe here.
Who?
I will take one glance at Annika, see if she's okay with me just outright saying it, await that response, and then just say it.
Yeah, at this point, I'll just give Connor, say, just a nod, because at this point, like, we got other trouble that could be brewing here.
Yep. Vania Thomas.
The prince. Good. So, I thought I recognized you. And she goes to shake Annika's hand. I've heard a lot about you.
I'll return the handshake.
And she goes to shake Connor's hand as well and just says, "You must be the security."
That is correct. And on that note, I suppose we should make our exit. There are people that might not be entirely happy that we are here, or you are here for that matter. And I make a nod to the exit.
The Anarchs?
That we wanted to take. I assume so. I don't know for sure, but that's the only reasonable conclusion.
Are they here?
Potentially, but we're already dealing with it. The best thing we can do right now is for you to follow us. We have a car at the ready, and to just leave as soon as we can.
Meanwhile, outside, you, as you go to approach the car, you see that there is, in the driver's seat, exiting, is a very familiar Bruja to you. It is Tenorio, the Anarch equivalent of the Sheriff of Oakland. One of the known to be most powerful Bruja in the Bay Area. The TSA guard is no longer paying attention to him because he came with a woman who is a Toreador that the guard is now swearing that he will leave his wife to be with for all time. And as he is confessing his love for this Toreador, he is walking over to the terminal when he sees you approach. He simply goes, "Ah, Lilit, to what do I owe the pleasure?"
I was tasked to bring two Camarilla Ventru to the airport to make a pickup from a flight that was diverted from San Francisco to here. We are not intending to overstay our welcome, and they are not here as they are not here to interfere or cause any disruption. They are simply here to pick up an individual and a package, and then will be on their way. They are not looking for trouble. I am not looking for trouble. And this is just simply in and out. I texted earlier and I was informed that you would be notified that we would be taking a quick trip in and out for courtesy.
I was notified. That's why I tried to get the flight to arrive here faster.
Faster?
Who is it that's picking faster? Who is it that's picking up our caitiff friend?
Well, two very insufferable Ventru, you know how they are, think that they're the center
As
of...
Ventru are, yes.
Yeah. So it's the Ventru Annika and the Ventru Connor. So they're the ones picking up. And between you and me, the quicker we get this done and the quicker I can be rid of the Ventru, the better. Well, within reason of the quicker it can be done, because I still want to make sure that I complete the mission that I was asked to undertake.
He does an animalistic grunt, and he shakes his head. Lilit, do you know who that caitiff is?
Don't ask, don't care. you know I don't involve myself with politics. So the more I know, the more I get embroiled with politics. And you know how our Skangrel are. We try to stay out
Do
of
the
that.
Ventru know who this Caitiff is?
They were not given that information. They were simply told that this is who they are picking up, and this is what to hear for how they were to identify this individual. But they were not given a name. In fact, the prince was quite adamant about giving as little knowledge as possible, only what is needed to know.
The Camarilla are so exhausting to deal with. Either take me to the Ventru, or tell the Ventru to come here.
So Lilit thinks about it for a second, and she nods, and she says, I will bring one of them out to speak with you. And
Hurry
she
up.
turns, walks away, does not hurry, as is in her nature, and she goes into Annika. She sees Annika, Connor, and another individual who she doesn't know, and she walks up and ignores the conversation that they are having, and basically just tells Annika, the sheriff of the Anarchs would like to have a quick word with you if you have a moment. And I don't think he's going to take no for an answer. It might be smart to at least go say hello and introduce yourself for civility's sake.
Annika will just kind of sigh and, all right, let's go. And we'll head towards the Anarchs outside.
All right. You will do that. What will Connor do?
Connor is not going to follow. Connor is going to
Right.
look at Lilit and just ask, how bad is it?
Lilit just kind of shrugs her shoulders and follows Annika outside, just to be the neutral party between the Camarilla and the Anarchs, to be a possible mediator.
The Caitiff grabs you on the shoulder, Connor, and says, I am not going out there. The
I didn't
Anarchs will
expect
kill
it.
me.
I didn't expect that you would. I would say that we'd make a reasonable short retreat, but I'm afraid that's also not quite the possibility. I first of all don't know the driver, don't know the number of the driver, don't know who I would be able to contact him, and going in any way towards the exit, or any way that's closer to the exit, might be of more harm than staying in a place where they don't yet know where we are.
Well, what are we gonna do?
Well, and this is just a direct question. Connor doesn't have a phone that has like network capability, but would he, at this point, I mean, I guess he's never asked, but be able to contact any of the people outside, or that are going outside at this moment?
You should be able to contact Annika for the simple fact that you're Ventru and the Camarilla, and you probably have exchanged information at some point.
I mean, that's the other thing. Like, if I'm not completely mistaken, and I go back to my questionnaire, I'm not Ventru, I'm not allied to either. I'm sexless.
Yeah, but the
I'm with them
camera
right
very
now.
much like. Yeah.
Yeah, in that sense, like, Connor would do his best to try to send a text, which will be in probably slight broken English, like, not because he doesn't know the language, but because he doesn't really know how to operate the phone very well. And text Annika, like, going the long way around, and try to take this person the long way out the exit. Or not do that, but like with a question mark and awaiting a response before doing that.
Annika, your phone vibrates.
I will look at the phone.
You can see the message that was sent from Connor.
How close am I now to these other individuals? Like, am I almost upon
You're almost
the annex?
at the... No, you're almost out the door of the airport.
Okay. I'm just gonna maybe copy the contact info of Maurice and just send that as a response.
Okay. One part of the message was awaiting your response. What do you say in return?
I feel like I'm because I don't want them to like I'm so concerned. Not confused or concerned, but I'm torn because part of me feels like
Welcome to Vampire the Masquerade.
I
by
know,
the way.
like if I'm like, hey, if you just like, if I'm like, yo, just go, like then that's suspicious on our account. Like, I don't want to make it worse for everybody. But
Welcome to the politics of the Kindred.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're not quite outside yet, right? We're not quite there.
Not quite outside yet.
Okay. I want to show Lilit the message as well, and just be like, "What do you think?" Like, I don't want to make a call. I'm afraid to make a call by myself.
Lilit just kind of like looks at you, and she just gives this look of, I'm not your babysitter. You're a big So Lilith just looks and goes, you're a big vampy. You should have an idea of what you should do. Do I have to hold your hand as for everything?
I'm gonna... Okay, so there's also still like all the crowds of people there, like waiting to get their baggage and stuff, right? Because we're not the only people here. There's all these people who have come off of the flight. I'm gonna just message Connor back and be like, you know, maybe lose yourself in the crowd a little. And like go at like the quickest sign of problem. Like if it seems like if we don't come back out here in this airport, if you don't see us in this determined amount of time, you know, take that package and go. Because at the end of the day, we got asked by the prince. Like, this is kind of me. Like, I'm not texting this wall to this technology defunct vampire. I'm not texting this wall of text to this person. It's just more me thinking out loud at this point, just to be clear.
Yeah.
Because I know they wouldn't be able to read it.
Yup. And also, like I said, the text that you get is slightly broken. Like, you can see that someone does not know how to type very well.
Yeah. In my mind, I'm like, you know, at the end of the day, like, we had a job to do. I still would like to do the job. Like, I don't need to make peace with anarchs, but I will if I have to. But at the end of the day, I'm still a Camarilla. I'm doing the Camarilla's work. So I'll just text Connor back and be like, this is Maurice. I sent that. I'll like, just be ready to go. I think that's all I'll say.
as Connor gets it, he looks at it and is like,
when you get that text, Connor, the beast whispers to you.
oh God, okay.
And the beast goes, "You're the one in charge. You should be in control. You don't have to listen to what anybody else says. Besides, I know a good way to end this whole situation. You have a perfectly good, frightened individual here who will listen to anyone that you have to say. You could end this situation for the Camarilla and the Anarchs right now. Take him, yeah, lose him, take him somewhere else. Get rid of the body, it'll be fine. And you can satisfy your hunger."
First of all, do I need to roll to resist that?
No, not at all.
Okay. Connor will just kind of, for a slight bit, like, bury his hand in his face, like, sigh very deeply. Just goes away. We'll give it 5 minutes. 5 to 10 max. If they're not back by then, we're making a run for it. Our car is up. Our car is reinforced. We have the info now. For now, see that massive flesh bags over there? The deeper we are in there, the less we stick out. Though with your outfit, not that easy. But we'll make it work. And then I try to just lead her by the hand into the crowd.
She nods her head and does as you say, muttering an "okay" underneath her breath.
And then
Are you
we'll
still
also...
holding on to the box?
Yup. Here's the other thing. Can I, in that, like, as soon as we are in there, if nothing else happens, text Maurice, be like, be at this exit, like, move there right now and try to do it, like, not like in secret, but try to do it, like, cautiously, or, like, yeah, something along those lines, and also in fairly broken English.
For sure. Maurice texts back with a "I think so" and a question mark at the end. Meanwhile, about to approach the Anarchs. Now, this Toreador and Bruja are standing outside of the car. The Toreador looks beautiful. She is wearing an incredibly, like, well-tailored blazer and suit. She has her hair upkept with a beautiful bun that has long plastic needles holding it up in this beautiful way. Her eyebrows perfectly contoured, makeup absolutely flawless. She stands in this way also with her arms folded, meaning all business. The Bruja could not be further from that, with large steel-toed boots that are raised almost half an inch off of the ground, camo shorts that have an industrial chain around them about 3 times wrapped as a belt, hanging off the side, dangling a little bit past the knees, with a vest on that has various patches, seemingly from local Bay Area punk bands and metal bands, undone hair, and specifically a patch that stands out seems to be one that was made by their own local person that makes patches that just says simply, "Fuck the cam."
I love it. I love it.
So, before you even came to the Bay Area, Annika, you knew who this was. Tenorio. Your sire knew who this was. The prince knew who this was. Tenorio is a name that has been associated with the Bay for a very long time. You don't know how old they are, but you know that they're older than the prince. They see you approach, and they wait, seeming to want to know what you're going to do.
I think I'll just I'll approach them, but I will also keep a little bit of distance between myself and them.
Lilit just kind of approaches, is kind of like, she just kind of stands in between the two groups and just starts picking out fur out of her teeth.
I guess I'll just say, like, to what do we owe this personal greeting?
I should ask you the same thing. You're in our territory. Why?
Say, I is of no disrespect to your area. Sometimes, it's business takes you places, and I'm in and out in a quick fashion. We are quite literally heading right back to our own area, and will no longer be having our presence cause such a cloud in your lives.
You came here to this airport while we were waiting for someone to arrive. You came to pick that person up. What do you know about Grace Newsom?
Well, I didn't even know that was their name, to be honest. I was simply instructed to pick up an individual whose flight had been rerouted, and that was all of the information I was given. As simple as just doing a favor for another individual.
I'll make this quick and simple. Grace Newsom is fleeing Las Vegas. The Anarchs have taken it. We have given the Prince of Las Vegas the final death. This was the caitiff Primogen. We want them because they were trying to flee, so that we can hold them here for when Anarchs arrive from Las Vegas to give them a trial or send them back. Extradition. You are attempting to take a war criminal, someone who lost the war in Las Vegas, back to Camarilla's safety. That is what you are here for, and that is what you are trying to do. But if that is not what you are trying to do, then you will step aside, and you will give them to us.
I don't want to go back empty-handed, but I don't want to fight these people either. It's not worth my time. I'm going to say, listen, this was the job that I was assigned to do, but I'm also not looking to die for it at the same time. As far as I know, we arrived here, you were already here, and there was just simply nothing that could be done.
You arrived too late, is what I'm understanding, if I am hearing you correctly. Yes?
I believe we're hearing each other quite well, yes. I think we have an understanding here. Because you made the flight arrive earlier than we were told.
Has this individual been granted Elysium by the prince?
As far as you know, they have not.
So they have not been assigned, or they have not been granted. They have not been granted asylum. Okay. So Lilit's gonna step in. Well, what about this? The individual is given over to our friends here, and perhaps for the ability to save face, maybe they can offer a favor later on, and then everybody wins, everybody saves face, and there is no bloodshed, and nobody needs to go to war tonight. And as far as we know, we got here and the individual never got off the plane.
What do you think, Annika? Do you think this is worth a favor?
I think that would be, worth the time that we spent to get here to do all this. It only seems, I don't know, fair. We put a lot of effort to come here, and I think that this is the best situation for everyone moving forward. A diplomatic one, if you will.
Then we will wait here. Go and get her.
How about I will go get her? Annika, if you entertain the gentleman and the lovely lady over there, I think it would be better for me as a third party to go in and get the individual instead of you or both of us going, because we don't want any misunderstandings.
No, I agree. I will wait right here for you to go in and return.
Is that good with you as well? So Lilit's going to go in and she is going to go look for Connor and this other individual.
They have attempted to hide in the crowd, but since you know who you're looking for, it doesn't take you too long to spot them. They're out there with one particular woman wearing a gorgeous dress and another who looks like a confused cop with a large brown box. So you find them pretty quickly.
What Lilit's going to do is go up to Connor. So things have gotten a bit complicated. What I need you to do is I need you to take the box and quietly get it to your driver. And Annika will be in contact with you in a minute, shortly. And Annika asked me to bring this individual out because we're trying to get out of here with our heads still attached.
Connor, before you do anything, I would like to know if you are planning on doing as the Lilit requests or not.
Connor has not decided yet. The problem here is Connor wants to see what exactly the Lilith slash the people outside have done and said to make this happen. And secondly, Connor is pretty certain that the person is not just going to come with them if they are already remarked that these people will just kill them.
Mm-hmm.
And that there lies the next question. The person, like, she can just hear all of it, right? That we're saying.
Yeah.
So what's she doing upon hearing this? It's probably the first thing that I would ask.
She's looking at both of you talk back and forth, and she seems to be deciding, or trying to figure out what that means and what's happening here.
Lilit is going to tell Connor, we're going to be taking 2 separate vehicles. That way, we can complete the mission. But she holds back and doesn't say that a deal has been made, especially in front of this Grace Newsome person. So she's also kind of catching Connor's eye, like, just do this. And she's not overtly saying it, she's not making any bodily gestures, but she's kind of trying to catch his eye as, this is probably something you might want to do.
I want you to roll composure and subterfuge.
Me?
Yes.
Composure. So, let's see here. Roll. Roll. Let's see, 2d10 plus 1d10. All right. All right. Yeah, so the composure, she got a 10 and a 7, and a subterfuge, she got a 1. The Gangrel are not good at subterfuge. They just basically throw shit out there on the...
Mm-hmm. So that will be 2 successes. It's going to be against wits and insight from the caitiff. Give me 1 second. Oh, roll your hunger as well. You have 1 dice.
Okay.
Just a quick aside, I'll have to
Indeed.
wrap up in like 15, 20 minutes because it's a little late on the East Coast now and I haven't had dinner yet.
Mm-hmm. It's about to wrap up,
okay.
don't you worry.
Okay, I figured we were getting to that point, but I just wanted it to be clear.
It's about to wrap up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Taking these
Sounded.
nerves.
Yeah,
It sounded like we're finding a resolution.
Yes.
It's like,
Grace is seeing that you're trying to be deceptive and looks over to Connor and says, "You're trying to hand me over. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to hand me over to the Anarchs. Fuck. Is that how it's going to be?"
The short of it is, I don't know. These people, like, we're out of there talking with them. I have no idea what they said, and I have no idea who even is out there. But I'll tell you this. At this point, I quite frankly don't really care either. Why do they want you dead then?
Because we lost the war in Las Vegas, and I'm fleeing it.
Connor ponders that for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then Connor will put the box on the ground, try to just grab Grace's hand. Just, like, lead it over to Lilith's hand. Go. Even if you go with me, they'll probably kill you anyways. If they by any chance have figured out a deal in which you don't die, this is the better choice.
She tries to slap away Lilith's hand and just says, "Fuck you." And she activates Unseen Presence, which turns her invisible in front of everyone.
Well, shit.
And
Well,
that she gives only one indication of where she went by a bunch of people in the crowd being suddenly shoved to the ground in one direction, and the sound of the footsteps is heard going toward the far end of the hall,
does
all the way to
Lilit
the furthest terminal.
Does the Lilit have the sheriff's number?
I'm sure you do.
So soon as, like, Grace makes a break for it, the Lilit immediately calls how do you spell that? How do you pronounce his name?
Tenorio?
Tenorio. So she immediately calls Tenorio and gives him exactly where she's headed and what just happened. That she made a break for it and she's running.
Tenorio picks up the phone, listens, hears your message. Annika, you just see the phone in his hand. He doesn't look too concerned. His emotions don't change. And he just tells the Toreador that he's with, "Ashley, let's go." And they both walk past you, Annika, and says, "If you leave now, it will still be like you never got here. I suggest that you go." And then they just keep on walking.
I'll text Connor / Lilit, come outside, and I'll text Maurice to come bring the car around. Like, understood. Say less.
Suppose Connor will just lug the
Alright,
big
you
old
both
thing
receive
and
that
go out.
text.
It's just like, what's going on?
Let's get the hell out of here.
Kinda.
So Lilith she gets the message and she just starts walking back to the exit and to head towards the parking lot. As far as she's concerned, she's done what she was asked to do. So if Connor or Annika want to ride back with her, then they can, but she'll wait for him in the parking lot, but she leaves Connor to carry this heavy package himself. Doesn't even offer to help him
Alright.
carry it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've got Maurice, so I'm gonna hop in the car with Maurice and go back to the office.
Just leave Connor.
Well, like, I'll wait for Connor, but like I'll go with like the other car. Is more my point.
Well, fair enough. Connor will go with whomsoever, like, drops him off where they left, but decides to leave the big thing in the car with Maurice simply because there's probably more space there.
Yeah, we can drop you off, no problem.
Wonderful, I guess.
All right. So, Lilit, you're getting back into your vehicle, yes?
Yep, whoever's vehicle that I used to get over here. She's going to drive back to where her motorcycle
All
is.
right. Gotcha. I will come back to you in a moment. Let's go to the Ventru in the car. The box that's back there, locked tight. It doesn't have anything interesting about it other than it being just a wooden box that seems to be locked tight. But Maurice simply asks, "Well, that's a nice box. What's in it?"
Oh, I don't know. Something important, I guess. We'll be returning it to a friend. They asked us to come and get it.
Yeah, it will be a wonderful meeting.
And I'm going to instruct Maurice to take us back to, I guess, the prince's whereabouts, which is where we had originally started to go and deliver this box before we head on back.
All right. So, in the Lilit's car, when you pull in behind your motorcycle, right when you stop the car, there is a voice that comes from the back seat. You heard the voice before. The Nosferatu. "Well, that did not seem to go according to plan."
She just looks back and was like, "Did you think it would? Do these things ever seem to go to plan?"
The plans of Kindred rarely seem to work out in favor for the Kindred or the mortals, for that matter. I'm just curious, what did you think was going to happen?
I'll be honest. I was kind of expecting a pissing match between the Anarchs and the Camarilla, so guess I wasn't disappointed. All I know is hopefully we've avoided some kind of a war tonight.
We will all hope for that. Thanks for the ride back.
Where am I dropping you off?
Here is fine.
Yeah,
And
suit your...
the door opens and then closes.
She just kind of smiles and chuckles to herself, and she starts heading back.
All right, and then back to the Ventru, meeting the prince. Arriving back, you have a box.
I'm not going to touch the box. I'm just going to wait to deliver this thing.
Same.
I was here to do a job. I'm doing the job.
Well, half of it anyways, but yes.
Well, you're back at the Civic Center, and you are expected. What will you do now?
I'm gonna ask Connor to pick up that box and get on in there.
As insane as this is, and as much of suicide as this is, I will do so.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I think the story here is, we were able to get the box, but the individual never came. And I believe that's what we have as our story.
yes. But the problem is more... First of all, I already suspect that that is not going to be believable enough. And secondly, the bigger problem... You know, she made a run for it. I have no idea where she is. However, as insane as this is, if she got here, in some way, shape, or form, before us, we are screwed. Not that we are necessarily not screwed right now, but more so than now.
Well, I guess that's just the risk we have to take here with the situation with the Anarchs. I don't think there's much else we can do. Our hands are tied.
Seems so. Well, then shall we go in?
Let I open the door to let you go through first because you were carrying the box.
All right.
The ghouls let you on in. You don't have to wait in the waiting room for the prince this time. They let you go right through. The prince seems to have been expecting you. This time, not seated on his throne. Almost as though he has been pacing around for a while. Then when he sees you, he goes, "Ah, there you are. So, I'm noticing someone missing. What happened?"
Well, you said that you suspected that the flight not arriving where we thought it would seemed to be anarch interference. I feel they interfered a bit more than that. It arrived off schedule. A bit early, as one might say. We still got in. We got the package at least, but no sight of the person. I suspect they have her.
Yes, it seems we were just a bit
Have Connor
late.
do, both of you do charisma and subterfuge.
4 successes, 2 failures.
Failures.
Yeah, 1 success, 2 failures.
Of course, did you roll hunger as well?
No, wait. Hunger was not a success either.
What was the number was not a success. Okay. That's fine. Did you roll hunger?
Yeah, it was also a failure.
Possum?
Oh wait, it's 2 successes. A 10 counts as 2. I literally just saw that.
Yes. Okay. What was the number on the dice that you rolled for hunger?
2.
4.
Okay. The prince simply sighs and goes, "Very well. At least you retrieved the box. Interesting that no one grabbed this, but left it behind. Just hand it over. I will still consider this a victory."
Very well. And Connor will just walk a little bit forward and just put it on the ground.
"Did you see any anarchs there?"
Not personally, but I don't know. It felt like you could smell them in the air. Those toreadors and their perfumes. I just had the feeling that they have been prior to our arrival.
One more time, then. I'll have you roll for charisma and subterfuge.
I remember how many dice I had of each. Oh, I got a 10. Nice. 3 success and 3 failure.
Do you roll
Yep.
hunger?
4 successes, 1 failure on hunger.
I got a 3 for hunger.
All that matters for hunger is if we get a 10 or a 1. Okay, the prince just goes, A pity, then, that you all did not arrive sooner. Well, since our business is concluded, I suppose there is nothing left to say. But I will enlighten you. That caitiff was important. Her name was Grace Newsome, and she was very highly ranked in the Camarilla in Las Vegas. We were waiting to hear what she had to say about the situation down there. But I guess we'll have to wait a little bit longer to know what's happened. It also would have been nice to have someone like her in San Francisco. You are dismissed. Go back to your unlives. And feel free to help yourself to a bite to eat on your way out. I'm sure I can procure something that you'd be interested in, Connor.
I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe I just only like to eat where it's homely. But I suppose I'll pass again. Please, sister, don't take this as an offense. But
Of course not.
after this,
Have a good
failure-
night. Think nothing of it. Have a good night. And should you see the Lilit before I do, let them know I appreciated what they did for me. Personally, I don't like to talk to Gangrel longer than I have to. You understand.
Oh, but of course. And I'll do like a little bow and make way to leave.
And Connor this time will just leave.
Right?
He will not bow.
Okay. Yeah, that is where this session of Vampire the Masquerade Kindred of the Bay is going to end.
Woo!
Would like
God,
to
that was fun.
thank these lovely players. Kayla, SlushieSpider, thank you so much for playing, and I hope that you all had a good time and enjoyed, for 2 of you, your first ever game of Vampire the Masquerade.
Thank you. It was fun. I'm still learning, but it's been a good time.
Kind of same.
It's a process.
has.
It's a process.
We'll get there.
It
Oh
has
my
been
lord.
amazing and fun, and I'm glad to have gotten to play with both of you. And Astrid, you are an amazing storyteller.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Till then, thank you so much again. I hope that you had fun. I look forward to doing possibly more sessions in the future. But, till then, I will bid you all a farewell. I'll be back to streaming on Tuesday. Our next Vampire the Masquerade session will be Friday, May 5th. So I hope to see some of you, if not all of you, there. Farewell, everyone. I'll see you later. Bye.
Good night.
Goodbye.